So, I guess I'll just sort of start off with, what's life like right now? I know you've got, a lot of people are kind of forced to kind of take it back and maybe work less, or, like I can't go to the gym. And for me, that's just means I'm going to get a little out of shape, but you got to stay in shape. So like, how are you sort of handling that?
Um, I just want to throw this out there. The guys, this is either what you would call um I can't think of what it is, but one of those moments that you just can't just not take advantage of.
Hmm.
And this is a time where like people should really just take time and just work on themselves.
Hmm.
This is you got more than enough time to work on all your flaws. First, identify them, then work on them, and then just go from there. I mean, I know you can't go to a weight room and all that stuff, but like me, I got a resistance bands and a big old hill
Hmm.
right here behind me, so I just go to work on that.
That's interesting. That's a really positive way to kind of look at this is, I mean, is there something specific that you've kind of been intentional about? You're like, I don't do this enough, or I could maybe change this in my life right now.
Um, Focusing on me is
Hmm.
where I'm, just trying to get better at because, with the virus and stuff going around. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
With the virus and stuff going around, you be worried about your family members and all of that stuff, but I gotta be worried about me and my three, and just go from there.
Do you has this helped you maybe obviously whenever you're able to sort of get on campus at Alabama, I'm sure you'll see your family a lot, but you'll be busy and you'll see them a little less. Has this kind of been a good time to spend some quality time with people that before things get really busy in the fall?
Uh, Most definitely. I want to make sure that I spend as much time with my sisters as I can because they're my rock. They've been holding me down since forever. So I
Hmm.
just want I get enough time with them. So when it's time for me to go to work, it's time for me to go to work, and they won't feel like it's personal or nothing like that.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So you showed me the band. What are some things that you aren't able to do right now that normally you'd be able to some exercises or maybe some weights or any some equipment you normally use, and but what are some things you're sort of doing to try to compensate for what you can?
Um, right now I'm doing a lot of plyometrics. Just using
Hmm.
my body weight and stuff because if we weren't on quarantine, I'd be using a lot of free weights, and
Hmm.
I'd be able to just go to the park and just run around. But now I just have to use these resistance bands, get used to those. A lot of push-ups, a lot of curls, a lot of air squats, and just run a couple hills over here by my house and just take advantage of that.
Does it feel weird not to be able to use some of those weights, especially some heavier weights that you'd normally be working with right now?
A little. I mean, I kind of see it as kind of a learning moment for me too, because
Hmm.
so whenever I do get introduced to it, in the weight room using bands and all that stuff, I won't be unfamiliarized with it. I'll know what which band does what color, just be familiarized with it. I won't be a stranger to it. So doing a lot of plyometric stuff and using these resistance bands can kind of I feel like kind of help me out on it. Um, you know.
Yeah, so talking with some other guys, I've heard a lot of guys say they're focusing on, cardio and more endurance and stuff than they normally be doing. Do you feel like, by the end of this, you might be in the best shape you've been just from a pure cardio standpoint?
No, I
Okay.
don't think you can ever be ready or get, have that, prepare yourself for
Hmm.
college cardio. But, as long as you get to a point where you're satisfied, that's fine. But honestly, I never think I'd be, ready for, Bama cardio. I don't think I'd be ready for that.
How excited are you for that first workout with your teammates whenever y'all are able to get together?
Oh, I'm going to be so pumped. I mean, I just want to be around my guys like Demoy,
Hmm.
Will, Malachi. I just want to be around those guys. They bring a lot of energy to the team, especially to me. I mean, I know we're the same age, but I look up to those guys because they always so energetic. They always keep a positive attitude.
Do you kind of keep up with any of the guys that kind of y'all do y'all try to motivate each other or anything while y'all are working out? Everybody as individuals right now.
Most definitely. We got a group chat, so
Hmm.
we keep up with each other. Make sure we ain't becoming lazy.
So, I know that a lot of people have a lot more free time on their hands these days. Anything fun you're trying to do? I know some people are trying to like learn how to do things they couldn't do before, or some people are catching up on shows or anything like that.
I definitely have. I finished a couple of seasons of a couple of shows. Like I'm just now getting on Marvel's Runaways. Just finished with Marvel's Cloak and Dagger. I just finished with this show on Netflix called The Witcher.
Okay.
I've been playing a lot.
Wait, what's so out of those three, what's the best one?
The Witcher, hands down.
My brother's been trying to get me to watch that for weeks, so I should start watching it.
Yes, sir.
What yeah, that's kind of interesting that you mentioned those Marvel shows. I actually read the Runaways like comics, super super nerd moment, but I haven't watched the show. Should I watch that too?
Oh yes, sir. I mean those. I'm only on like the first season, episode 8,
Okay.
but it's pretty dope from where I'm at.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I never would have guessed like I would have guessed like 10 shows that you would have said before that. So,
Oh no, sir. It's a good show, man. I just love. I mean, the thing that I really like about the Marvel's Runaway is that even though they're, I don't know, but even though they're teenagers, that they know right from wrong, and
mhm.
you know, they have feelings too. They're not caught up in the high school life and just not really focused on being popular.
Like I said, dude. I read those comics like growing up, so it's just so weird for me to hear you talk about watching that show.
Right.
Um, did you watch the NFL draft or at least the first couple rounds?
I did. I did. I did.
For a second there, it was basically just Alabama and LSU players getting drafted. Did that kind of jump out to you?
Yeah, it did. It did.
Well, I mean, is that kind of I feel like a lot of people, especially right now, when you're not able to be with work out with people in person. I know that's a big thing for me. It's hard for me to give it my best if it's just me solo every day. When you see something like that, does that kind of help you? You're like you see those guys get drafted, and you're like, that's why I'm working hard right now.
Right. I mean, I feel like for any guy that's going to college for football, I think that's their end goal, just to get to the NFL, just to get their name called in the draft. And I feel like that's my ultimate goal. I feel like if I work hard enough and continue to do what I'm doing now, I'll be able to get there. You know, and hopefully in the Cowboys uniform.
Okay, yeah. You might share a school with some of those guys the way they're drafting a couple of guys lately. Do you
Right.
um sorry, I just slipped my mind what I was talking. I was actually gonna ask you, how do you feel right now? I know that unfortunately you missed a lot of time your last season of high school. Physically do you feel like you're all the way back at this point?
Most definitely. I've been before the the it just slipped my mind. Before the quarantine, I know I was
Hmm.
doing it with the guys, doing some drills, doing some little one-on-one stuff. Nothing too serious, but just to make sure I stay in shape and know what to do in football. Just messing around. But I feel like I'm 100%, 110% actually.
Do you feel like that I mean it sucks that you missed some time, but do you feel like missing that time has kind of helped you stay motivated now because you know how much it sucked when when you weren't able to finish the season?
Yes, sir. Exactly. I mean, it was just kind of heartbreaking not to finish the season out with my guys. They counted on me for half of the season, and I wasn't able to be there with my guys. I mean, I was there hopping around on one leg, supporting them guys, no matter what the score was or who was telling them, they wasn't this and that. But I feel like going through that just made me want to just take advantage of every moment I get now.
Uh, is there a like moment you look forward to sort of the most from next season? Either the first time we do this man, this will be the moment, or the first time like I don't know. Like some guys have said walking out in the tunnel. Some guys have just said like first pregame speech.
Right.
Like is there a moment that you're like, God, I just can't wait for this?
I can't wait to do the Walk of Champions.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely can't wait for it. I mean, ever since I've like my first, Alabama game, I've always dreamt of being, doing that Walk of Champions. And even when I was committed to, Auburn, I always thought about, doing the catwalk, the tiger walk. I mean, and I just like, coming down that walkway and just seeing all those fans there, just there to support, support Alabama football.
Do you remember how young you were the first time you saw the Walk of Champions outside Bryant-Denny?
Yes, I was very wide-eyed. I was just amazed by everything, and I've never seen like so many people get so loud. Like I've never experienced that before. And I think my first game was, I think when they played Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what season that was. I think 2 years ago, a year ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I know my first game was Arkansas. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first game, and I just loved the whole game. No, it was Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
Yes, because I remember Willie Gay had I think he had a sack and he had caught in the back, like back-to-back plays. Yeah, I think it was Mississippi State. Mississippi State, definitely. Yeah.
Now, some Alabama people, they'll be like, "Whoa, the thing he remembers is the Mississippi State play."
Yeah, I know. I know. I also remember Mac Wilson and I think it was Dylan Moses kind of slammed that guy on his head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they'll forgive you now. You were watching the Alabama guys too. I think they'll forgive you.